I am Dr.Ashwin Dobariya welcomes you to Programming in C video series. In this practical video, we will discuss a C program which will calculate a factorial value of a input number. So let me first discuss about the definition. C program which calculate factorial value. So first of all, we have to understand what is a factorial. So as per the mathematics rules, the factorial means, suppose if we want to calculate a factorial value of 5, then the multiplication of all the numbers starting from that number to 1. It means, suppose our input number is 5, and if we want to calculate the factorial of 5, then 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1, and whatever results will be there, that is known as a factorial value. Suppose if I input 10, it means the factorial value of the 10 is 10 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 7, 6, 5 up to the 1. So that is the actual logic behind this program. Now, very important thing, how we can think about the logic of this program. So here actually we have to start with the numbers, then we have to multiply that number with the previous number. It means 5 multiplied by 4, and whatever answer is there, suppose 5 multiplied by 4 is 20, then 20 again will be multiplied by with next number. Then suppose 60, then 60 will be multiplied by with the next number. So in that way we have to use a loop. So here one thing is clear, we have to start our loop with the input number and we have to move up to the 1, right? So that is the logic. Now let me think the other part of the logic. How many variables we require in this program? So one is the input number. So number here, instead of integer we will take a long integer, because we know that the limit for the integer number is only 3276 minus 32768 to plus 32767. So generally if you go beyond these number like 7 or 8 or a 10, then factorial value will be more. So that's why instead of integer you declare a number with long integer data type. Another is we require one factorial variables which will store the factorial value. Now these are the two variables we require in this. Here when we will see the practicals in Turbo C, at that time we will ask the number from user, but for understanding logic, here I have mentioned, suppose our input number is 5, then how we can write the logic of these programs, right? So here we have stored number as a 5, then factorial is equal to 1. Now why we have to initialize 1 at initial level? We know that, as I told you, that what we have to do, first of all we have to multiply the number with the previous number, then the previous number. So initial level, if we assign factorial is equal to 1, then when we multiply the first time, factorial is 1. Otherwise if we do not assign any value over here, then the compiler gives a garbage value. Garbage means unknown value. So our ultimate the multiplication will be a garbage. So here one option, factorial is equal to 1. So if we keep 1 and if you multiply by with the first number, then there is no change in the answer. But here if you initialize 0, then what happen? We know that the rules, when we multiply any number with the 0, ultimately result becomes a 0, right? That's why instead of 0 we have to initialize the factorial is equal to 1. Now let me execute how we can write a loop, right? So while, even you can use a for loop also, but while is better over here, because we have to start our loop from input number. Suppose our input number is 5, so number variables, number is greater than 1. Here you can use greater than or equal to 1 also, but no need to multiply 1, because if you multiply any number with 1, then there is no change in the answer, because the result will be same. So here no need to execute the loop one more times. That's why you can use greater than also, or if or equal to 1, then it will execute more 1 times, right? So num is greater than 1, that is the condition, and input number is 5. Suppose let we start our initial value of num is input number 5. Factorial initially we have assigned 1. Then first time number is greater than 1. Yes, 5 is greater than 1. Condition becomes true. Then what we have to do? Actually we have to calculate fact. Initially fact is 1 multiply by whatever number is there. So initially 1 multiply by 5. So overall answer becomes 5, and that will be stored in the factorial variables. So here factorial, in the latest value of factorial is 5. Now what we have to do? Now next time whenever the loop executes second time, we want to multiply the 5 with the 4. Then how we can decrease it? Then whatever value in a number, that number minus 1, you can write num minus minus also. So right now number is 5 and minus 1 means now latest value of num variable is 4. So this is the latest value when the loop execute first time. Now what happened when the loop executes second time? So second time now number is 4. 4 is greater than 1, condition becomes true. Now we know that the old value of fact, or we can say latest value of fact variable is 5. Multiply by the value of num is 4. So now 5 multiplied by 4, it's 20, and now the latest value of factorial variable is 20, and after that num is 4 minus 1, so latest value of num is 3. So latest value is num is 3. So now this is the status when the loop executes second time. Let's see when the loop execute third time what happened. Now number 3 is greater than 1, again condition becomes true. Now the latest value of fact is 20. So 20 multiplied by num means 3. So 20 multiplied by 3, it becomes 60. 60 again stored in a fact. So the latest value of fact is 60, and now num minus 1 means num is 3, minus 1 means now num becomes 2. Again the next time loop is executed, then again 2 is greater than 1, condition becomes true. Old value of factorial variable is 60 multiplied by num is 2, it becomes 120. Now the latest value of fact is 120. Now num minus 1 means 2 minus 1, num becomes 1. Again if the last time if loop execute 1 greater than 1, then this condition become false. So what is the latest value of fact is 120. So 120 ultimately it is the you can say the factorial value of the input number 5. So in that way this is the actual logic of this program. Now let's see how we can execute the same program in Turbo C. As we discussed in this program, first we require to include two header files, stdio.h, conio.h. In main function here we will declare two variable. One is num that will take input from user, and factorial is equal to 1. And first we'll ask the user input or enter any number, and that number will store in a num variable. Here num is declared long integer, that's why we have to use the format specifier %LD. And to make the output in a formatting manner, that's why first we'll display one message factorial value of the input number. So our input number is num, so it will display the message. And generally we know that the factorial generally represent with the explanation symbol, right? So it will display the explanations. And suppose if we input 5, then this message will display like factorial value of 5 explanation. After that the loop will execute, and 5 greater than 1, then fact is equal to fact multiplied by num. Now whatever the number value is there, because we want to display the output like 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2. So whatever latest value of num that we want to display. So you can add one printf statement over here. So printf %d and %ld, in this place it will display the num value. Suppose we input the 5, for example our input value is 5, then first time 5, then it display the printf 5, then it will decrease 5 becomes 4, num minus minus. The meaning of num minus minus is similar like this, num is equal to num minus 1. Next time again it calculate factorial, but next time it will display the 4. then third time it display 3, 2, 1. So the output is it display the all numbers. That's why I have added the printf over here to display just the formatting output. After this loop, then finally we know that when the num become 1, then this loop will be terminated. So that's why here we know that this printf will display the number from input to up to 2. Then this printf just display 1 as it is, and finally whatever factorial answer is there, that will display over here. And this is the end of the program. Let's we execute, then you can understand. Suppose my input value is 5. So see here, factorial value of 5 it display as it is. Now that printf display 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 and multiply by 1 is equal to 120. That will display with the help of this. So this is just even you can directly without this statement even see, if I just make a comment of this printf, right, and you can just write down like this, factorial value is, right, then also so it will just take a input, calculate the factorials and display. So this output is very simple, like 5, then it's a factorial value is 120. It will not display the all multiplication value like 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3. So if you want to display this kind of output, then you can use this printf, which will display all the numbers starting from input to 1. All right, and here we know that this loop will not execute by 1, because when the num become 1, then 1 greater than 1 condition become 4, so it will not display 1 over here. That's why here I have to mention 1 then answer. So now if I run this program and if I input 10 over here, then see this output is displayed like that. Factorial value of 10 is 10 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 8. In that way you can display. Now see the factorial value, it is now too long, right? 36,28,800. Similarly, if I run these and if I input 15 for example, then the answer is too big. That's why we have to take the data type as a long integer. Friends, this source code, I have also given the link of this source code in this video description part. So you can download these source codes in your laptop or a desktop and you can do the practicals also. So I hope friends you understand this logic of these factorials and enjoy these videos. So please friends, share this video with your friends, like, and if you have any suggestions or feedback, please write in a comment of these videos. As I told you that the source code of these programs I have also given in a link in this description part, so you can download it, do the practice, and in the next video again we'll discuss another very interesting programs, that is Fibonacci series up to the user's inputs. So suppose if user input 15, then we'll display the Fibonacci series starting from 0 to 15. So that programs we'll discuss. So please friends, for getting the updates of upcoming videos, please subscribe these channels videos. Thank you very much.